Hey, you all right? I'm so sorry. Yeah.
I just found this tied to a tree back there. Somebody did this.
Hey everyone, Sam here with HorrorMom.com, and today we're doing our nature/outdoor horror, and I've gone back all the way back to 2003 and have found what I think is a really good one for you guys this week. This is the original, not the remake, not the sequels, the original 2003 Wrong Turn. Films like this are just nostalgic to me because I remember when I was growing up and watching them and just loving these characters and loving the story and being invested in what happens to these guys. They just always have a special place in my heart. And this movie is just, it's just fun. So in Wrong Turn, we are introduced to a young medical student, Chris, and he's on his way to Raleigh, West Virginia for a job interview. And unfortunately, there is an accident which causes him to have to get off the main highway and try to find a quicker path. And this is where Chris makes a wrong turn. And he ends up smashing into the car of a group of really close friends who are out on a hiking trip. And this leaves all of them stranded deep in the middle of the woods. And as they venture out to try and find help, they face being stalked by a family of cannibals. As our friends are being stalked and attacked, this movie is filled with awesome special effects and makeup. There's a lot of gruesome kills and a lot of new things you hadn't seen before, and everything, as gross or disturbing as it is, it looks very realistic. A couple scenes that really always stand out to me is when the group of four, they end up finding the cabin in the woods that the cannibals live at, which they're not there at the time, and they go poking around in this cabin, and it's like all of us that are watching like, no, get out of there. You know, they see a stack of 15 dentures or, multiple keys. Like nowadays to us, anybody that runs across that kind of situation, they're like, we're out of here. But these four just kept looking around and trying to see if they could find a phone. I liked all of these characters, especially the core four. There's just something about these characters where I don't dislike any of them. I don't find them annoying. I'm rooting for each and every one of them. So it was just a really good casting. And I think these characters were all well written, where you actually feel like they are relatable and likable. And a lot of movies, especially slasher movies, you don't always find that. A lot of times there's always a couple that you're like, oh, kill that person already. So I think they did really good with the characters. One of the scenes that happens in the cabin is so brutal and traumatic, and about half of it you're actually seeing what is taking place, and the other half you are seeing the reactions that our characters are having from viewing this. The reaction that those characters are giving us and those actors are giving us, it really makes you feel like they are there and they are seeing that, and you're feeling for them and being like, oh my God, like how could you even continue on or move forward after seeing something so horrific. So if this movie does not make you second guess about ever going out hiking or backpacking in the woods of West Virginia, I don't know what else will. Because I remember when this came out and I was like, I will never ever go backpacking or hiking in West Virginia. No way. So this movie is just great, and I have watched it many times. It was a good rewatch to get a chance to look at it again. I think the plot, I think the story, how it was written, I think the characters, and I think all the makeup and special effects in this film make it just awesome. It's a slasher movie. If you like movies like Scream, Friday the 13th, then I think you will really love Wrong Turn. It's not an elevated horror. This is a movie that once it takes off, it never lets up. It is just tensity all the way through. For this slasher score, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. If you like movies like Friday the 13th or Scream, I think you're going to love Wrong Turn. It is just an exceptional slasher film. It did a lot of things first before other movies did. It set off a whole trend of the cannibal and out in the woods, mountain men attacking people. I think that they really set this off. It's got a slew of sequels, which I'm not a fan of the sequels. I think maybe number 2 or 3 might be okay, but it's just the acting and the special effects and the storylines are just nowhere near the original. So I definitely recommend this movie to anybody that loves slasher films. It's definitely going to be a fun one if you haven't seen it before. So if you have seen this one before, let me know in the comments if it's one that you liked, maybe who your favorite character was. And if you haven't seen it, go out and check it out on Prime. It's streaming for free right now, and I hope that you really enjoy it. And after you do, come back and let me know what you thought about it. And if anybody has any suggestions for next week's nature/outdoor horror, I don't have one picked out yet, so I would love any suggestions. That would be wonderful. And otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video, and thanks for watching and have a great day.
Sweetheart, baby, seriously, this isn't funny.